It's Kathy from Raven Vintage. We're going to do a few more flip throughs. I'm just going to send this video to myself. One moment. Be just a second. Be right with you. I think this is okay. Hi there, it's Kathy from Raven Vintage. I'm just getting myself set up here to watch this video myself so I can answer your questions. This will be the last flip through I'm going to do for a while. Here we go. And mute. There we go. Okay, I think I'm set up now. Hi Sharon, hi Lee, how are you guys doing? I feel like I was just talking to you a minute ago because I finished filming my envelope series this morning, and I think I said hi to both of you in my video. I feel like we were just chatting a minute ago. So what I'm doing here, hi Ann, hi Nancy, glad you caught me. I was just saying it feels like I was just talking to everybody a couple minutes ago because I was filming my envelope video for the day, and I was just saying hello to everybody there. So, and now I'm just doing a quick live. So I had a few people ask me for a couple more flip throughs that have emailed me wanting to take a look at some of these. So I'm just going to do it very quickly. I'm low on battery, I'm low on time, and this is the last day I'm going to ship out journals. So this is for those of you, and you know who you are, that asked me to see some of these journals. I'm just going to do them super quick. So let's see here. And if you're not able to watch right now, hopefully you caught the replay, which I will send. So I have that price list. This is not the updated one. Some of these have sold, but these are all spoken for, all the small starters. The two Elsies is gone, but I will certainly get back to that. I'm glad you got too, Sharon. Okay, so I'm just going to flip through these quickly. I know there's just a few of us here, but that's okay because folks can watch the replay. So this journal here is the Terracotta Wallpaper SM3. It has a 2-hole ribbon closure, 3 signatures with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Sorry, that looks fuzzy. I think it just takes a minute for my video to figure out its life. Okay, and then on the front of the cover we have this little flip, little pocket, a little flip. There's a pocket here. It looks like a tag. It's designed like a tag, but it's just a faux tag. It just has that little double door flip. And I have my, you might see my cord there. My battery's low, so I've got myself plugged in so I don't die in the middle of this. But if you lose me, that's what happened. If I go blank, that's because my battery died. So I'm going to try to do this quick. So this has some vintage lace. Got a pocket in the front here with a library pocket, some clusters, old bingo card, some vellum, looks like printable ledger, old book pages, kind of the usual. I kind of feel silly just repeating myself because we usually put the same things in our journals, don't we? I'm going to grab something here to demonstrate the pockets. This one moves. There's quite a bit of writing space in this journal. Hi Amy, how are you? It's, for me it's good afternoon. Sorry, did I say good morning? Yeah, it's good afternoon. I'm just flipping through a few more of these journals by request. This is the last day I'm going to do shipping for a while because of that pending Canada Post strike. There's some more vellum. There's a vintage, this is a collage done with a vintage negative and a vintage photo. There's a couple goodies there in that bag. Pouch, there's another cluster. This is a been a while. Oh, it's got a little flip. It's been a while since I've looked at this one, so there's an old, what do you call it, flashcard. Yeah, so I'll just go through these quickly. I don't really need to say too much about them. I think they're self-explanatory at this point, but oh, I love that vellum piece. That's pretty. Just because there's been a couple of inquiries about some of the journals by email. Oh, here's a little wallet pouch. And inside is another pouch. And inside is another pouch. That's fun. These are fun to make. They're like one-sheet wonders. Little pocket there. So this one's left empty. That goes in here. Yeah, so I hope everyone had a good Mother's Day. I had a lovely day yesterday with my daughter. I have one child. My daughter, she's 35, and she has 2 daughters, so I have 2 granddaughters. That's it for me. There's another pocket. So we had a nice morning yesterday. She picked me up and we went through Tim Hortons, grabbed a coffee, went back to her place, had a nice hot tub with our coffee. We're hot tub people. We are not travel people. We're staycation people. So where some people like to travel and save their money for, you know, flying all over and going to destinations, we don't. We are staycation people. So she was lucky enough to find a house with a hot tub when she just purchased her house a little while ago. So that was lucky. Before that, at her last house, this is fun. This is like a Dutch door. We were just talking about Dutch doors today. She had bought a used hot tub. Hi there, how are you? Welcome to the live. I'm just doing some flip throughs here as by request. So this door goes this way, and it's also a tag pouch. Yeah, so she bought a used hot tub last time, and it lasted a fair number of years, 3 or 4 I think, and then she eventually needed to replace a part or two, but that was still, because we're frugal people, we have no problem with secondhand. So owning a hot tub doesn't have to be super expensive. Oh, there's a little pocket here too. How cute. I forgot about this little butterfly pocket. This is fun going back through these. I really am enjoying it. There's another library pocket. Vintage. Oh, that looks like a pocket. Yep. Something in that envelope pocket. Yeah, I'll try to be a little bit faster. There's one of my postcards. That's a Raven Vintage postcard. I've got three or four designs out right now. And the 2-hole ribbon closure on that one. So this is covered in wallpaper. Yeah, 2-hole ribbon closure. So that is somebody was asking about that one. That's SM3. That one. There's 2 of the friendship journals left, which we've gone through before, and they're all very similar. So there's two of those. These ones have a lot of vintage photos in them. Envelopes, pockets, all kind of basically the same design. Just various different pictures, obviously, because they're originals. And they both have this little ticket thing on the front. Edith Holden pages, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but more of a spring vibe with the blues and such, blues and greens. So there's 2 of those left. So those are SM, this one is SM8, It says, a life richly blessed is one encircled by true friends. And then this one says, live with no excuses and love with no regrets. This is SM10. Okay, so those three I'll get out of the road. This is Odette. And Odette is, again, this one's like a chipboard journal I've made out of 3 parts. And this is a Sari silk ribbon, 2-hole ribbon closure again. This one has the metal book corners. And this is a really chunky girl here. She has lots and lots and lots of writing space. And it's, I don't even know how many pages this is. I could probably count, but it's done with the Odette printable Tim Holtz papers, tea dyed paper. This is from the Odette kit. Avocado dyed paper. It's definitely a pink journal. So again, I'll just go quickly. This is that's a duplicate of a ledger I have, an old ledger from the 1800s. So is everybody crafting, or are you just hanging out, or what are you up to today? I just assume that if someone's on here, they're crafting, but I know that's not necessarily the case. Nancy's actually working. Atta girl. I totally get that. Oh, that's so pretty. This is some of that Tim Holtz vellum paper. Just so pretty. I'm so sad that they're out of print now. And I missed that recent reprint. I wasn't able to get any. And if somebody has them available for sale on eBay or something, because they snatched them up and now they're going to mark them up. This is velvet. This raised part here is like a velvet. It's so nice. And then the wallpaper, and it's wallpaper. And here too, that pocket. Having lunch and watching you. I hope you have a nice lunch, Anne. Yes, lots of writing space in this journal. It's a neutral palette, which is the hint of pink. There's some vintage stationery sets in here too. Oh, this actually goes in here. This is a flat pocket. Whew. And then this is the stationery that goes with the envelope. Journaling card, a large journaling card. Here's an old Euchre tally card. Yeah, so this is Odette. This is what I call this journal. There's that velvet wallpaper again. It's so pretty. Some beautiful sparkly scrapbook paper. There's another pocket here. There's Odette. There she is. Love and Life. This is pretty. Not sure what that was. I think this was on a greeting card. A layered greeting card. It was already cut like that. I'd rather be crafting, but sitting in a junkyard while hubby's looking for car parts. It's 80 degrees out in Maryland. Oh, well, you're patient. You're a good wife. you just brought me back. I just want to look at. I'm trying to see what your name is here. Oh, I guess I can't on here. I can't look at profiles on here. YKE. Is that your name, or is that your thankful that you found someone to hang out with while your hubby's. Tell him to take his time. We're just gonna hang out. I don't know how to pronounce your handle here. Is that your name, or is that just your YouTube handle? YKE. Is that your actual name, or is that, there's the rest of that card. Yeah. This is just a little sewn journaling card that is made out of 2 of the postcards that come with that Odette kit. On Cynthia. No, I don't. Oh, right. I go by Island Girls. Okay, so Island Girl doesn't show up in the chat. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure how that all works. There's like your account name and then your handle. So yes, yeah, I don't know how I show up. Grandkids probably, yeah. I know, they're old enough to use the computer. They always want to just watch like YouTube. I've got YouTube Kids on here. One's young, one's older. There's a little belly band there, and then a tuck on the back. Yeah, thank goodness for technology, right? That we can... Is it Cynthia or Cynthia? Cynthia? It's, I love this. I'm all about... It's funny that we work in vintage every day, but it's so nice to have the technology. I feel like we looked at this journal already. There's the birds on that lace, that old envelope. It says, "Fear God, honor the King, 1777 to 1784. Obviously that envelope's not that old. It's just a commemorative. Cynthia. Okay. Thank you. I know sometimes people tell me their first names in the comments, and but I don't always remember because of my 50-something-year-old brain. But I do try. Some I have memorized. Cute little pockets here and there. We're just about to the end of this one. So this is Odette that we're looking at. Hi, Deborah K. Oh, you just woke up. It's 3 a.m. What a surprise. Oh, I forget where you live, Deborah. See? We go in our craft rooms when we wake up. This is great. Or maybe you're just watching your YouTube on TV or your cell phone. Deborah, I'm just going through. I had a request to do a few more flip-throughs. Today's the last day I was shipping to Canada and the US before that potential postal strike. So there was a request to see a few more of these, do a flip-through of some of these journals I had available because I'm selling them direct. And so far I've been using Square so that you can pay however you like. Now I've had one person that had difficulty trying to use their debit card. Their bank didn't like the idea of a payment to Canada or something. I'm not sure, but it could just be a restriction on her. It was a credit union or something, I think. A little more restrictive. So I do have PayPal as well. I could also do that, but you can also use PayPal to pay a Square invoice, but there's options. But yes, this is the last day because I don't want to ship anything beyond today because of today or tomorrow morning at the latest because of that pending strike. So I don't want things getting stuck somewhere. So that's Odette. Oh, you guys are funny. What other? Oh, the this one. So this is made with box board. It's a 3-hole pamphlet stitch again with 3 signatures. And this is made with my Valentine sets, the vintage collections there, plus some vintage papers. So this is neat. This is someone's doodling on this really neat crepey paper. So I've got that folded up in there. So this one is a Valentine journal. This is SS4. And it's $120. So no tax and free shipping to Canada and the US right now. And then I think after we get the postal thing straightened out, I'm going to open up that second Etsy store again, and probably just, because I have so many, not just journals, but I have a bunch of journal kits I'm dying to sell to you guys, to make available for you guys to make your journals. Like with the fabrics and all the things and the papers and the vintage stuff, and like I've curated a bunch of, well, they're curated in my mind. I don't have them all put together right now. So that I can start making those available. Yeah, this is just some vintage papers and shipping papers, and there's an envelope. Here's the other side of that doodled crepey kind of paper. I don't know what else you'd call that. Feels like old cigarette paper. I smoked years ago. I haven't smoked in forever. But the little, sometimes I had like a foil paper inside, but sometimes I had this, like, I don't know what you call it, kind of paper. Gosh, that goes back. There's a cluster strip. Thanks, Deborah. There's another cluster tab. This is a slide on a belly band. So the belly band is behind, obviously, but it has a slide on top. Some of that old vintage calculator paper. There's a pocket there, and there's another pocket there. It's a pocket. Paper clip clusters. I don't know what we call those. There's an old envelope. Some vintage lace. Here's another slider. Those are fun to make. And it's a belly band with a journal card. That's pretty. It's another paper clip. That's just like a ribbon. What do you call that? Not a flag, but a banner. A banner. I think that's what we call those, banners. That's the other side of that envelope. Some vintage music sheets in here. Oh, this is fun. So this one has a little closure on this. There's a cluster on the closure, so we pull the closure out. I'll open that up. Open this up. Then this flips down, and then it opens up to some journaling space here with the avocado paper. Close that. Flap. This flap goes back up. Fold this sheet down, and then this closure tucks in here. And then you don't, that closure, there's the other hole. So on the inside, this is what's on the inside. It's kind of a neat little parcel right in the middle of the journal. Your papers are so pretty, and I love your style. Oh, thank you so much. I love vintage. Absolutely love vintage, and I love how my kits go with other kits. Like, you could still, there's some tracing paper. This is just a little cluster notebook or a scrappy notebook. Those are fun to make too. Those are a lot of fun to make, and a great scrap buster project. Here is a pocket on top of an envelope. There's another one of those banner clusters, or paperclip banner clusters. I'm not sure what the actual name of those is. Some more tracing paper there. There's another scrappy notebook. These are a lot of fun to make. They just add a little dimension and texture and visual interest to your journals too, right? Just a little something. A little tag we can write on. Another cluster tab. There's a bob pin with a pearl, little journaling card. This pocket is tracing paper. You can see that it's see-through, printed on tracing paper. One of my favorite things to do. some journaling cards, little interaction. There's another one. There's some more pearls. I hand sewed those on. And then here's a little more of that bird lace. Another envelope. There's a greeting card with its matching envelope. So there's tons of writing space in here. We'll have to do that on the envelope series. I'll find one in the box that's a matching envelope and greeting card, and we'll do that. As we only have so many days left, like 21 days left or something. Okay, and then there's some more of that vintage lace there. So that was SS. What did I say? SS4 is this one someone asked about. And then I think it was the one with the fidget toy. That's this guy. And then the Swan Lake with the... So this one was a collaboration. It's a sewing theme. It's made from a great big large envelope. Have this tassel on the side. 3 signatures, 3-hole pamphlet stitch, 2-hole ribbon closure in the back with grommets. And in the very back is where the fidget toy is. So the fidget toy is a miniature blanket or blankie. And listen. Well, we can hear that. But inside here, so that was just like a hand exercise thing. Instead of a tennis ball, you could use this and just keep crinkling this. So it's a fidget toy, and it also could be used for hand strengthening. It's so soft. It's made out of fleece. Sosa Ribeiro. Is that Brazil? Is that, do I have the flag right? You'll have to let me know. So that goes in there. It tucks in the back of the envelope flap. And this is a sewing themed journal. So everything in here is to do with all the journaling cards, everything. It's either made with the sewing kit, like this is the tissue paper, like the pattern itself, or the instructions. And then there's little journaling cards that are images from, this is from Emerald Mama's Creations. This was a collaboration I did. I have like 4 or 5 videos on this one. This little nest made out of all the threads. She provided a curated kit. So there was papers, fabric, and embellishments, and then a pattern, a vintage pattern. And then we just all made our own interpretation on with the kit that we received. This is the pink spread. Lots of journaling space in here too. So some of the fabrics were from her grandmother's collection. So there's another one of those nests. They were, some of the fabrics are vintage in here. They're from her grandmother's collection that she inherited. Lots of layers. And with these little cards that it's a printable you can buy from her Etsy shop. I don't know if she has any journal kits left. It's Emerald Mama's Creations. But here's a double belly band. A little heart and a little journaling card at the back. But yeah, she has on her, in her Etsy shop, this little printable is available. So just flip through here quick. There's an envelope. And here's a little booklet I made out of all the goodness. There's a index card in the middle of it. Here's my favorite part of the journal. This little girl's fishing. So the challenge was to use everything she sent. So there was vintage craft pages as well. So this was like the little fish here, they were on a hand-painted dresser, so I cut those out. The girls are from the front of the pattern, and then this is the fabric in the blue, so I just made that the water, and that's a pocket down here. This little twine was part of the kit, so I just made it like the little girls fishing off the dock. That's my favorite part of this one. But yeah. So yes, this is definitely, this is like very junk journalish to me. Like it's very eclectic and like using what you have kind of thing. It was a really fun challenge. So I've got videos showing my process on how I did all of this. It's called the Kit Create Collab. So this is the product from that collaboration. This is the finished product here. So this one is called So Lovely. It's SS3. So this isn't my normal style, but like I said, this was for a collaboration, and some people absolutely love this like real eclectic mix of things, definitely using upcycled products. And there's journal cards at the back, belly band, and then that fidget toy again. So this closes here, and there's one more, I think, oh, the Swan Lake. Somebody wanted to see that one. Oh, I've got this over to the side. I'm still here. Sorry, I'm just thinking. My sister's coming over shortly, about 10 minutes, so I told her I'd be done by then. So that is the other one. And then I'll show you, Yvette, this was for you. You wanted to see Swan Lake. Oops, got caught in there. Okay, so this is, again, made with chipboard in 3 pieces. The cover, the spine. This, I've made the cover from scratch. 3 signatures, 3 whole pamphlet stitch. This is a vintage hanky. And then I made these tassels with pearls and beads and buttons and glass beads. Here's the old vintage buttons. Glass beads. Little pearls. So that's the tassel on that one. And this is the Swan Lake from the, I used the Swan Lake kit, which is my all-time bestseller, as well as the Swan Lake lined pages kit that accompanies this, but could also be used. You'll see me use it in various journals. And then I did a Mod Podge artist effect on there. We go swish swish with the brush so it looks like an oil painting. And then there's vintage lace and vintage elements throughout this journal. She's a chunky journal too. There's a lot of pages in this one. And there's faux vintage tape. There's actual vintage items in here, like this paper. I did clusters. The rusted staples and whatnot, I did that rusting technique myself. And then there's some of them are legit old brads. This is vintage measuring tape. There's just all these clusters. So I love these clusters, they're fun. But this is a printable, like that's from the kit. Like there's some of the Swan Lake lined papers, tea-dyed paper. This is vintage. Another cluster. This blue stationery, that is in the Swan Lake kit, as are the yellow roses. Vintage envelope. Let's breeze through here. She's from the kit. Some Tim Holtz papers in here. These are cards from the kit, and then I've added some. There's the end of the measuring tape on that one. This is one of those hidden journaling spots. So you could journal on the back, and I don't know if you can tell, but she is printed on tracing paper, and then the tracing paper is attached to some cardstock. These are fun to make. And this image in the kit lends itself really nicely to these little hidden journaling cards because that you can cut right across the line and then it's not obvious when it's just hanging out here in the journal. Like, you don't realize that you can open that up. Some vintage papers. More clusters. There's our swan. There she is. That's the beauty. This kit really helped me gain exposure to the junk journal community. Swans were really popular for a while. There she is. Just she or he. Here's a vintage, someone's handwriting there. Vintage papers I've added. Same here. These are authentic. With the thickness of this paper, that's amazing. I just love it. That's authentic. Vintage book pages. This is a coin envelope made out of an Edith Holden page, and that's faux vintage tape on there. And I've used the page number from Edith Holden. This you'll see in my logos. This is from the Swan Lake kit. That's more vintage lace. That is one of those, oh, what do you call them? I want to say stereotype. That's not the word. This is tracing paper. Same image printed on tracing paper. This is a one-sheet wonder. You may have seen my reel on this. So it has one flap, vintage photo, second flap, another vintage photo, third flap. This is, I've got some guest checks in here. So journaling space there, vintage photo there. And then it also opens this way. And there are pockets on both sides. Here and here, here and here. That project right there was another thing that helped elevate me in the junk journal community. It was a very popular reel. There's a belly band. There's an old euchre scorecard. This is from the kit. There's a vintage photo, and vellum, Tim Holtz papers, an old, what do you call it? There's a handmade envelope out of tea-dyed paper. That's from the kit. It's a more journaling space. So I know some of you have seen this journal already, so sorry for the repeat, but someone did ask to see it. I'll just go quick because I do need to sign off. But yes, there you go. That's an envelope. My Swan Lake. So there's a lined page, and it's the same image as the front cover. So I've used that image a couple of times, so it's nice to have that theme throughout. Tutorial on that? Which one, Lee? Would tutorial on the coin envelope, or were you referring to this hidden journaling card? You'll have to be a little more, just because of the delay. Oh wait, this thing? The this guy? Yes, I do have a tutorial on this. The One Sheet Wonder. I do have a tutorial on that, and so does Cindy A. Lewis, actually. That's where her and I met when she first did that and tagged me. There's a bag. This has a flip down and a pull down. I have to go sideways because it's big. So it's a flip down like this, and then it's also a pull down, so you have all that journaling space. And then up here it goes up and down for more journaling space. So again, you open it. I just did this one a little bit different, but this is that same One Sheet Wonder. I just did something different on the inside. So there's the pockets again. 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. The One Sheet Wonder, yes, Lee. I do believe I have a video on that. I'll try next time I do an envelope video. If I can find the link for that, I will let you know about it, and I'll tag you. We just did this paper clip, hidden paper clip, the other day on a reel to explain how hidden paper clips work. And then I added a couple more extra journaling cards to this journal. So there's an envelope flip. So I was demonstrating how to make a hidden paper clip and what they look like on the back. This is like apparently something many of us forget to show you, is how it slides over top and hugs the paper and what the back looks like. So I did demonstrate that. There's the other side of that. Lined paper, music paper, another cluster, some vellum, some rusty bits, journaling cards. I'm happy to redo that one sheet wonder though and do it again. You start with a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper, like a thick one. It's very easy. It's a lot of fun. It's a great thing to add to your journals, especially when you need to bulk one up. There's a authentic vintage brad and some authentic vintage lace here and here. This is from the same doily, or handkerchief I should say, or hanky, however you say it. Some more journaling cards. This is fun to do. You have, this is faux vintage tape. That's an authentic vintage photo though. And then on the back, you flip the back up and make a little pocket. Those are cute. And this is some embossed paper. There's quite a bit going on in this one little thing here. Quite a bit. Faux vintage tape, embossed paper, rusty staples, clusters. Yeah, but that's an authentic photo there as well. That's a cute little addition. And there's an embossed envelope. I really love this journal. There's some more printed on tracing paper. There's our beautiful swan again. Some people have asked, yes, her head is cut off in the kit. That's what she looks like. That's how the image came. There's some faux vintage tape on there. And we're just about at the end. Lots of room to write in this journal. This journal would last a really long time. Another cluster. Here's some vintage Canadian ephemera. There's a printable, and then there's more vintage ephemera in there. And this is the end of the journal. We've got some vintage, this is actually a pocket, technically. Kind of loose though, so I don't really have anything in there, but you could tuck something in there. Yes, so that is the Swan Lake journal. So this one is SM6, if anyone is interested. If you would like to see the price list, I can email it to you. And my email address is ravenvintageca@gmail.com, which I'll type in the comments. One moment. If anybody has any questions about the journals or would like a copy of the list of journals that I have, thanks Lee, thank you very much. ravenvintageca@gmail.com. There, that's in the comments beside Kathy S. That's me, Kathy Snively. Because I'm watching this on my personal YouTube while I'm recording it on the live on my Raven Vintage YouTube. I have 2 YouTube accounts. Okay, well, I hope that answers for the gals that were looking for flip-throughs of those journals. The 2 fabric journals are still available with the tassels. The love journal, or the Valentine journal with the love bottle opener, the metal bottle opener, that one's still available. And the ballet is all with the metal corners, with the hardcover. That one is also still available. Okay, well, thanks for joining me and hanging out. It's just like I said before, it's like, it feels like you're like right across my desk just hanging out with me and chatting. I love that. So thank you again, and I will see you probably tomorrow. Take care. Bye.